because you did get into some top universities once you switched over from JC.
Yeah. So I love JC mainly because you could get through your classes easy breezy. You could manage, social life, work, and still get good grades. That's what I really liked about JC. Also, it's cheaper, obviously. My experience there was different because it was during COVID. So a lot of the classes were online. I did meet a few friends, but like I said, my mindset in JC was let me get all my work done, do well so that I can perform well and execute well when I apply to other universities. So I didn't think too much of let me make a network here, let me find a community. It was pretty close to where I live. I would say maybe like 10, 15 minutes where I live. But yeah, no, I enjoyed JC. I do think, though, if I had to give advice to students going from JC to specifically UC, University of California, I would say like keep constant track of what you're doing and to keep pushing yourself because JC is a bit easier than what you would be having at a university because the classes are much faster considering the fact that it's on a quarter system where a JC is on a semester. And also the teachers are so kind, loving, lenient in JCs. And when I came here, I was a little bit taken aback because professors, it really sucks to say, but a lot of them don't care if you're like struggling. If you can't keep up, that's your problem. You need to figure out how you can keep up with the class. They're not going to slow down. They're not going to treat you like, obviously not like a kid, but in JC, I felt more assisted. I felt like they cared for me. I felt like they wanted me to succeed. And I feel like a lot of the professors here, it's really hard to get that same feeling.
No, I agree with you there. I think I experienced similar things at UCLA too. I think the sentiment is that the UC schools are heavily research based, right? So a majority of the professors, right, their income or the way they perform is based on their research, getting those grants. So it seems as if kind of like the teaching aspect is more kind of on the side or the back burner as opposed to the research that they're publishing. And I felt similar at UCLA where I would struggle and I felt like the professor was like, yours, like, there's like 500 of you. Good luck, buddy. Try and figure it out. So I completely agree with you there. When you're in JC, did you select a major? And then what schools are you looking at when you're looking to transfer out?
Right. So initially, I wanted to go into CS or computer science. And I took 3 classes in JC. And after I took that third one, I was like, is this really something I want to do? Because it was so hard, that third class. And I really dislike math. It's not my best subject. And when I get it, I'm so happy. I'm like, I feel like the smartest person, But you don't, it's like, oh my confidence, it's like deteriorating. I have no motivation and I'm like, am I even, I question myself sometimes. So I try to stay away from really difficult math. But what was the question again? Sorry.
Oh yeah. So what did you major in?
Okay, so I ended up switching from CS to business, and the colleges I applied to were Cal State Long Beach, Loyola Marymount, which is a private university, USC, UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, and a few other Cal States. But yeah, so again, I wanted to do CS, realized that this was not the path I wanted to take because when you go into your major, you have to really know what you love, what you want. And that's not what I loved or wanted. It's something I thought, what will make me money? What will I be successful in? And the thing is, like, those majors don't determine your success. You determine your own success. Is what you do at the end of the day. Are you happy doing it? That's success to me. And that's what led me to doing business. Because I love innovation. I love entrepreneurship. Definitely something that I had a close connection with. So decided business. And yeah, and then UC San Diego specifically. So there's two majors. There's business econ and there's international business. I chose international business because I thought foreign exchange would be really awesome to learn about, learning how other countries do business, how they exchange. I really am into supply chain and knowing how, things go from one place to another. It's like, whoa, how does that even happen? But yeah, so international business is definitely something that I resonate with in terms of I'm really interested in it and it's something I really want to contribute to. So that is why I chose international business.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. A lot of great things you hit there with regards to kind of like your major, what you decide to do with your career, right? It's hard to wake up every day going to class and taking these classes that you genuinely don't enjoy, right? Like if you're going to go into your CS class and you learn about Java, Python, and you're like, oh my God, I hate this. Why would you feel like you'd be successful in your career, right? And I'm glad you selected business, right? I think it's a very good major, jack of kind of like all trades. And most people, they speak that business language when you end up getting into that corporate environment. And you mentioned you want to do supply chain. I was doing supply chain at like my previous team at Google, and I learned a lot about just a lot of business lingo, how you get certain things for hardware shipped to different manufacturers. And I think business is a good transition for that, especially if you get into that supply chain career or if you get into business in a corporate environment once you get out. So props to you for picking that. With regards to your time after community college, right?
Yeah.
Where did you get into for your 4-year university, and can you talk about any scholarships you got?
Yes, I got no scholarships. I did get financial aid, which is such a clutch, but the colleges I got into, obviously UC San Diego, I got into Loyola Marymount, I got into Cal State Long Beach, I got into USC. I know there were a few more. I think they're the Cal States, but I know obviously I didn't get into UCLA or UC Berkeley, but all I did, yeah. And what was I gonna say? That I came into this also knowing that I was gonna have to pay my own tuition. Since I was 16, I was just always very conscious of I want to go to college. I know I'm going to have to pay out of my own pocket because my parents can't help me. And as soon as I started working at the age of 16, majority of my paychecks would go to my savings for college. And I had friends who when we all start working, everyone's like, "Oh my God, first paycheck, I'm going to spend it on this, nails, I'm going to spend it on makeup, shoes, clothes." That was not me. I was like, nope, going into my funds for college. I only really spent what I needed, which is groceries, gas, the things, the necessities. So I had to think what would be best for me because USC was my dream school. When I got accepted, I was, my heart dropped. I was like, what? When I applied, I was like, what am I doing? Who do I think I am applying to USC? The process was really fun and interesting, the application process. And yeah, when I got accepted, obviously I had to wait for my financial aid package. And when I saw that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was still getting a good amount of aid. To people who don't get aid at all, they would be like, hallelujah, send me to USC. But my story is different. I just couldn't do it. And I was so sad. I was like, it was really unfortunate to know that I couldn't go to a college because of my financial means. Even with the amount I've saved, I knew that this was not the right route because I don't want to be a person who graduates in debt. And I know a lot of people do, which, that's totally fine. I just don't have that support behind me with my family to, like, hey, can you loan me this?